Okay, welcome to part one of my presentation on making a notepad using Adobe InDesign. Part one is creating a template for your notepad. Setting up a template is an important place to start to ensure proper fitting of all the elements on the page. Allows for proper cutting and reproduction of multiple styles and types of notepads. Not creating a template could result in added time to your project and added stress. In this part one, we've got two objectives. Objective one is for students, given this presentation, the handouts, and teacher instruction, to be able to create a notepad template using Adobe InDesign. Objective two is to be able to save, for students to be able to save their notepad templates into a new project folder on their desktop. Resources for this part of the presentation are InDesign CS3 Classroom in a Book. I have these, you can check them out from me. Several of you have already seen this book and used it. Next is the project handouts. You should all have these handouts. If you do not, please see me and I'll make sure you get another one. And finally, myself. I'm a great resource. If you have any questions, ask me. If you need me to repeat something or re-demonstrate it up here, ask me, I'll be happy to. You can also ask your peers for help. Teaching each other is a great way to learn, so never be afraid to ask if you don't understand how to do something. All right, first we're going to start by opening InDesign. InDesign is the pink square down in your dock of applications at the bottom of your screen. It has the I and the D in it. Once you click that and InDesign is loaded, then you're going to open a new document by going to File up at the top of the screen, hovering your mouse over the word New, and then from that next pop out, you'll select Document. This will bring up a new document dialog box, and it wants to know what kind of document, what size of document that you want to create. So we're going to start by just choosing letter for the paper size, and orientation, we want that in portrait. And we're going to just click OK. We'll visit the columns and margins in a later step. So with our new document window open, I want to change my rulers to inches. You might recall that we do this every time we open a new document. The rulers are originally set to picas. Picas is a typesetter measurement that's used a lot in the printing industry. We've seen it throughout several projects and in our textbook. But I don't know picas very well, and I think we can all agree we would rather work in inches. So to change our rulers to inches, you're going to put your cursor arrow up in the top left corner where those two rulers meet, and you're going to right click or hold Control on your keyboard and click, and you'll get a window, the drop down menu that has inches as well as other measurements. You're going to select inches, and that will change your rulers to read in inches. Now that we have a measurement that we understand, we want to go back and adjust those margins and columns that I mentioned. And we're going to do this by selecting Layout from the top menu and select Margins and Columns from the drop-down menu under Layout. In Margins and Columns, we want a 1/4 inch margin all the way around our page. So you're going to set top, bottom, inside, and outside margins to 0.25 inches. Go ahead and set your columns to 1, and you can leave the gutter where it is. Click OK. Now that we have our margins, we need to set some guides inside of our document. To do this, you're going to place your cursor arrow in the left ruler. You're going to click and hold your mouse button down, and then you're going to drag it out towards the middle of your document, middle of your page, and you'll see that a line, a vertical line, is coming attached to your mouse, to your arrow. And you're going to use the top ruler to see when that vertical guide gets to 4 inches, and then you're going to release your mouse button. Now we want a second guide. We're going to repeat that step. We're going to click in the left side ruler, click and hold, drag it out onto your page. Use the top ruler to let you know when you get to 4.5 inches, and let go of the mouse button. Okay, with the vertical guides in place, we want to create a couple horizontal guides. And using the same method as before, this time utilizing the top ruler, we're going to put your cursor arrow in the top ruler, click, hold, and drag down onto your page, using the left ruler to let you know when you've got it at 5.25 inches, and then release your mouse button. Repeat those steps one last time and put a guide, another horizontal guide, at 5.75 inches. Okay, you might be wondering why we set up the guides the way we did, why we have so many. Can't we just put one guide down the middle in both directions? Well, I want you to notice where the paper is going to be cut. It's going to be cut down the middle in both directions, right? Well, because our printer does not print all the way to the edges of the paper, we're going to end up with a 1/4 inch margin, 1/4 inch white edge all the way around our page. And if we just did our guides down the middle, just one guide, and we had our notepad design come all the way to those guides, what would happen when we print it and cut it is you would have 2 edges of white paper on each of the 4 sheets that come from this page. And when you stacked them together, flipping through the notepad would reveal that we didn't lay it out correctly, because the design would be jumping around in different places on each sheet. Okay, are there any questions at this point? Good? Okay, with the guides in place, we are ready to save our template. To do that, we're going to go to File at the top of the screen, click on File, and from that drop-down menu, select Save. Because we haven't saved our document yet, it's going to bring up the Save As dialog box. And notice where these arrows are. First step we want to do is select Desktop from that leftmost column. That's the location we want to save it in. Once you've selected Desktop, I want you to click the New Folder button that's down in the bottom left corner of that Save window. When you click New Folder, you're going to get a smaller window pop up, and that's allowing you to create a name for your folder. I want you to name that folder Notepad Project. Click Create to create the folder on the desktop. Now that we're still on desktop and you can see that we've got our Notepad Project folder created, now it's time to name our template. I want you to name your template Notepad Template. Click Save when you're finished. Okay, your Notepad template is complete. After you save it, at the top of the window where this red arrow is pointing, you should see the name that you saved your document under. That is a visual cue that you have actually saved the document. If it still says untitled, You might have accidentally hit cancel, or something else went wrong, or you didn't put in the name, and I can help you make sure that it is in fact saved. Okay. All right, in part 2 of our presentation, we will discuss and work on our Notepad design. Okay, any more questions?